said many times, I did not vote against Alberto Carvalho. I voted against the process because, like many of you, and you all, what people have said today, I said there, let's have people and apply, and I probably would have chosen Alberto anyway. So it wasn't that, and I have been, I think, extremely supportive of this superintendent because I realize how extraordinary he is. But again, there are so many slippery slopes to go down on a national search. And honestly, it is so much fairer to the person that is chosen to have a person that has a flavor for the district. So unless the board changes its ways, we're going to be back to this. What a loss, what a terrible loss for our district. And I have heard people say, oh, it's time for him to move on. He's been here 14 years. And I just don't see the logic of that. So you're saying when you have something really, really good, you got to get rid of it? And I mean, since when, in what relationships do we have that? You have a nice spouse, a great spouse, and then you say, well, been around for a long time. I don't understand that at all. So I think it is on the board, it is the board's loss, and it is and I will say the board's fault that we have lost this fabulous superintendent. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Dr. Gallo.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to be brief, and I appreciate you allowing me to just say this. There have been some aspersions that are made, unfortunately, and very regretfully. Very regretfully. If you look at the recommend of the item, we've all tried to stay to that, but there are some things that have been said that I believe actually besmirch this board. When you're using words like toxic, and you're using words like the board's behavior, et cetera, I don't think that's appropriate board decorum. And in fact, when you're actually representing certain things that are untrue. So for the record, there was a statement that we should want to know. I had a conversation directly with the superintendent around his decision. So that conversation is something that I hold sacred, that I take him at his word, and that is not something for public consumption. So any representation that there has been no communication with the superintendent, that is patently false. I'm here to say that for the record. And in fact, I'm on the record when I was asked about the transition of commending and applauding him for the manner in which he communicated with the board regarding this particular situation. So any aspersions about why, I'm not in the business of representing adults in their decisions. The adults can represent themselves, but any representation that casts a negative aspersion on this board is unfortunate. It has no value add, no value add. If somebody can say what is the value of what has been stated to this particular process, to the relationship that we've enjoyed with the superintendent, not for 14 years, but for 30 plus years. What is the value add of that at this particular time? What is the value add for solidarity with the board moving forward? What is the value add? There is none, and I would challenge anybody to offer it. The value is to divide and to debunk and to deride the relationship and the process, and I think that's unfortunate. Last but not least, everybody is entitled to their own opinions, but not their own facts. It's easy to recite something in context relative to what was said or communicated by the superintendent, but it's nearly impossible to debunk and deny the record. The record at the school board meeting of 2008 September, in which the vote was cast for the superintendent that we have celebrated, that we appreciated, the record reflects the following supported him: Dr. Stinson, Ms. Hantman, Dr. Cart, Dr. Holloway, and Mr. Barrera. And anybody who represents that they didn't vote against the superintendent, they voted against the process, is not telling the truth, because that person voted for another person. They voted for another candidate. They voted for another candidate. So there's no value add in me saying that. The only value is to say the truth when someone would misrepresent this board and misrepresent the record. So the record reflects that there was a vote cast for another candidate, not against the process. But it was not cast for Mr. Caballo, who has done a superb job in this district, and I'm sure that will continue to do a great job for children across this country. And again, I want to say, as I opened up, I've had communication with Mr. Caballo, and I'm very confident that he's had conversations with each board member over this particular process. So anybody who attempts to represent his intent, his plans, his decision outside of him is misguided. Thank you, Madam Chair.